We are unmuted. Check. We're checking to make sure we don't have an audio issue. We are checking right now. Why is it not here? Why do I not see the live video? Check. All right, cool. It sounds like it's working, right? We are back to being muted.
Yeah, it sounds.
Unmuted.
Holy
Talking about your favorite cartoon. Every other cartoon sucks, but this cartoon, it's the best cartoon in the
Even the
whole
Critic?
damn world.
That is
better than the Critic, better than
Wow.
Avatar, better than Family Guy, and also Adventure Time. It's The Simpsons, the best cartoon in the world.
inflammatory comments, Andrew. Right off the top.
I know. I went for Avatar because everybody's freaking out about it right now because it's on Netflix.
Wait, everybody's freaking out about Avatar?
Yeah, because
Yep.
they just posted it on Netflix, so everybody's rewatching a show about a kid with a blue arrow on his head.
Damn.
I
Oh,
do not
Avatar,
need to
that
rewatch
Avatar. I
it
thought you
as
were
I
talking
just
about. I
finished.
thought you were talking about the blue avatars, like the Michael Bay style Avatar.
No, I'm
No.
talking about the one with the little kid.
The good one.
He's
You're
got a
talking
blue
about the good
arrow
one.
on
The
his
good
head.
one. No, I got it.
They-
I watched it.
That through probably 10 times.
It is one of my favorite shows. But hey, we are we're Homerphilia. We're here with another
Homerphilia.
episode of Homerphilia, and I think you guys out there in viewer land, we're gonna do a thing where we do a little episode synopsis right at the beginning because people have been complaining that we never talk about The Simpsons. So we're gonna get the base information out quick, and then we'll go where we go from there. But the most important thing.
Our goal every time that we do this is to exclusively talk about The Simpsons from minute 1 to minute 60,
Yep.
and that's exactly what you fuckwads are gonna get today. We're not talking about anything else.
You guys
but
want
The Simpsons?
You guys want to hear something crazy? Oh, did my phone just do that? Oh, fuck. My notification. I'll fix that in a second, you guys. So you guys want to hear something insane? This is episode number 42. We've done 42 episodes of this show already.
And it is the second Treehouse of Horror.
The second Treehouse of Horror.
One of many to come.
If you would have told me that we've done 42 episodes during quarantine, I would have believed you.
Yeah, right.
If you told me we've done 42 episodes today, I would believe you.
Yeah.
Amen. This originally aired on Halloween 1991. We're about a month away from your birth in Devin in
A month away
in
from
Simpson
my
time.
birth.
Main characters are Homer, Bart, Mr. Burns. Special guest voices Marcia Wallace as Edna Krabappel. Written by this is funny. This is where they got really funny. You guys. Oh, what happened? Why am I in no signal? My Homerphilia background disappeared. There we go. We're back.
No.
We're back. Technical difficulties. Shh. They got really funny with this stuff. Written by atrocious Al Jean, morbid Mike Reese, jittery Jeff Martin, gasping George Meyer, slithering Sam Simon, and spooky John Swartzwelder. And directed by Jim Reardon. So that's this episode.
That is a tag that they'll use for every Treehouse of Horror from now on.
Oh,
is
really?
They all get like fun little pun names, and that's like now that it's now times instead of then times, that now that we all do that on Twitter during Halloween, is we make our own name spooky in an homage to Treehouse of Horror, who did it first.
They did it first.
So so when it's the spooky time of year, my name on Twitter is like Candy Reed, because you eat candy on Halloween, and that people like that.
Right.
Not necessarily. Candy is not inherently spooky, Andrew.
The way I eat it, it is.
Go on. Please go on.
Let's go ahead and talk about that.
You guys know that I have like a detachable jaw with matriculating mandibles, like Alien from the hit film Alien. So when I detach my jaw and open my gaping maw to shovel in all the sweet Butterfingers that I picked up on a Halloween run, it looks like a violent hellscape of teeth and viscera, swallowing whole Butterfingers down. Yeah, so it's pretty spooky.
Huh. That's interesting. That's super.
I mean, not to hang out with you on Halloween.
I
I do not want to see you eat your creepy Butterfingers.
Nobody does, and that's why it's a holiday that I personally celebrate privately, and I always have and I always will.
Yo,
You do always drive up into the mountains by yourself
Chat.
for Halloween.
hey, anybody in the chat, let us know if it looks and sounds okay. If we're having, I think we figured out all our technical issues since the last few times we had technical issues. But if there's something wrong, it seems okay on our end. But if there's something wrong, please comment and tell us. Please, it's not supposed to be all fucked up if it is. That being said, like we're not too proud to hear criticism. So tell us if it's bad, please.
Oh, that's probably my bad, because I thought we were going for like a fucked up thing. If it does sound bad and look bad, it's probably my fault. I thought that was kind of our aesthetic. But from here on out, it should look good and sound good. And if it doesn't, it's not my fault anymore.
Great, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. But he's better at words than me.
Is this the first time we've seen a sequel to a Simpsons episode?
Probably.
I think so. Yeah, I think
it is.
So that's interesting. So this, for those of you who might be joining us for the first time,
hey Darren, it looks like you accidentally put on some ugly sunglasses.
Are those prescription?
Yeah, these are my prescription shutter shades. Dude, I was.
Who's your doctor, Darren, that prescribed those? Who's your optometrist?
Glasses Ski, Dr. Glasses Ski. It's spelled like glasses guy, but it's pronounced like Polish.
Glasses.
Yeah, Glasses Ski.
So he gave you an eye test and he thought that you saw too good.
Right.
And
but
you need
he thought that I saw just about 2 times as much as I need to see, but only in slats, horizontal slats.
He had to read the chart, and when you read it, you read 808s and Heartbreak.
Yes,
so he prescribed
exactly.
those glasses.
Yeah. Exactly.
Darren.
What? Yeah.
Darren's eyes were so good that he could see through people's skin. So these limit that he can with those he can see like the rest of us now.
I'm going through a thing, guys. I'm going tank top, shutter shades, man bun. That's the top now. That's where I'm at today. This is who I am now. It's called this is summer 2020, you guys. This is how we're doing it. We gotta live loud.
By which you mean fall of 2009.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you guys, style is about confidence, and it's circular. It's circular. Everything's coming back. Shutter Shades are coming back, and I am going to be the starting force that makes it happen for 2020. So I'm calling it right now. 2020 is the second summer of Shutter Shades.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now. Summer 2020 is the summer of curtain shades, and that's where you have tiny little curtains on your glasses that you push out of the way.
I would honestly wear those.
So
I really would.
I've been working on a hip sunglasses that I thought could be the big hit thing this summer, and they're glasses that are way too heavy, so you can't pick up your head all the way. So it really hurts your neck, and you have to walk like this around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've been working on something similar, but the glasses are light, but they have a glasses strap with like one of those knots on the back, and the knot thing's real heavy. So you're always looking up.
Okay. Future's so bright, you gotta look up in the clouds.
Exactly. It sells itself.
Yeah.
I try and keep my center of gravity right about at the top of my head. That's where I like to carry most of my weight.
Well,
that's a good combat.
It started because I was trying to
so.
learn how to do backflips, and I was like, I need a little assistance. So I put a big weight on the back of my head, and it turned out it was cool.
Devin needs to keep the top of his head always pointing up because he's like everybody's friend from high school who had an uncle who took acid one time and is so crazy that he thinks his head is like a cup and he can't tip it over anymore or else his brains will spit out.
He also burst.
That's not just a myth. That could happen.
The Kool-Aid commercials are loosely based on Devin's uncle.
Yeah.
I
literally had a guy in high school tell me that he had an uncle that took acid one time, and that for the rest of his life he thought the top of his head was open and his brains could spill out like soda if he tipped his head over.
That happened to Homer in the episode, remember? They cut top of his head off.
Yeah.
I sleep sitting up, like Joseph Merrick the Elephant Man.
And that's also because you are afraid to be crushed by the weight of your own penis, right?
Exactly.
God, yeah.
That's always been one of my greatest nightmares.
Yes. Just like Elephant Man, if Devin sleeps on his back, he will be crushed under the weight of his own penis.
Yep. Yes, sir. That's unfortunate for you, bud.
And that's officially Homerphilia canon.
It is.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
this Simpsons sequel episodes. That's interesting. So we do. For those of you who don't know, Darren is joining us on this journey. We've set to watch every single episode of Simpsons in order from the beginning. Devin and I are big fans. We love it. We've loved it forever. Darren, this is all new for him. Yep. You saw the first Treehouse of Horror, and we all admit that it was a little clunky, not the best one.
A little chunky, a little clunky.
I have gone on record saying I am under the it's my belief that the Treehouse of Horror episodes are overrated.
Yeah,
you don't enjoy Halloween because you have to spend it alone in the woods.
I'm saying they're 0 for 2 on Treehouse of Horror right now.
Yeah, I have to spend Halloween alone in the woods tied to a tree stump while I try to shovel.
Oh, Andy, I forgot. I was cleaning my house. Did you give me this thing?
No.
Okay, I don't know what this is or where it came from, but
let me see it. Hold it up to the camera. Gigantic Asses is a fake porn magazine from Simpsons, so that's a Simpsons reference. And then the bunny is from Matt Groening's still cartoon, like panel cartoon.
Yeah.
Called Life is Hell that he did before Simpsons.
And then Booty Game's Too Strong. Is that any referential thing, or is that just pop culture?
I have a picture printed out that says Booty Game is Too Strong. I think somewhere at my parents' house that I used for something, and it is now hanging in my brother's office.
Well, Andy, I got you a present then because I found I found it cleaning my house, and it's
I'm gonna put that on my car.
Looks Simpsons to me, so I guess technically that's not really. Oh wait, Gigantic Asses is from Simpsons.
That is from Simpsons.
Okay, so it is Simpsons.
And the bunny is tangentially Simpsons. Here's the story.
Yeah, gotcha.
Simpsons lore
Yes.
is that Matt Groening got a call from Fox, and they said, "We've seen your comic strip. We love. It's called Life is Hell. It's about these bunnies. It's kind of like bleak, sarcastic, irony, humor.
Yeah.
We love it. We want a meeting." So he goes to meet Fox to talk about a show, a project. While he's waiting for the meeting, he finds out that if he signs with Fox, they are going to own the characters, and he didn't want to give up the rights to the bunny.
That makes sense.
So in the waiting room, waiting for the meeting to pitch something to Fox, he drew the family and named them after people in his own family. So his middle name's Bart, right? His dad's name is Homer. His sister's name is Maggie. And that the Simpsons was born on like a cocktail napkin in the waiting room of a pitch meeting.
I was born on a cocktail napkin in the waiting room of a bar.
Your dad jerked off into a cocktail napkin, and your mom accidentally wiped herself with it.
Correct.
There we go. That's
Homerphilia
humor right there.
A lot of people don't know that.
30%. 30%, he says.
It's not that
it's upwards at this point. I've heard that has been trending higher.
It's not that uncommon. It really isn't.
No. Very normal is what my parents will tell me.
Yeah. None of us here on Homerphilia were born in the traditional conception way.
Right.
Devin,
which is, once again, I know what it is, and I've done it. I've had the
dude. We've all done it. Oh yeah, we've all done it.
Just so we all know what it is. Maybe Andy or Darren should say what it is.
Traditional conception, as you guys all know, she fucking picks it up. He lays it down. They're fucking flipping it out. She's turning around. They're smacking up. She's smacking down. And it's all around Pound Town. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then you spin it, and then she unwinds.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, you cork it up, and she corks it down.
And she uncorks.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And that's the traditional way that we all know.
The biblical sense.
We were all conceived in untraditional ways. Devin via cocktail napkin. My father, when he has a cold, his dick sneezes like he has sniffles, like downstairs sniffles. And he had a cold in the sauna one time, and and sneezed on the table.
This is canon now. You've said it's canon for you.
Yeah, my dad had.
Well, Tim classically goes to the sauna when he has a cold to try and sweat the cold out.
Sweat the cold out, but he accidentally sneezed. He downstairs sneezed
yeah.
from his cold, and then my mom used the sauna after.
The sauna that just anybody can use.
That makes sense.
This is before COVID. Now they wipe down the sauna after every.
Right now you gotta wear a mask and gloves and underwear.
In the old days, the sauna cleaned itself, just like my oven.
Yeah, we've all been to the sauna. In the last couple of weeks, we all know gloves, face mask, bare butt cheeks on the hot tile.
I heard currently in the saunas you are not allowed to sit on anyone's lap, which at this point it's like, why are you even going to the sauna?
Yeah, that is part of the stay-at-home orders. Is that you can't sit on anybody's lap at the sauna. You have to wear mask and gloves, bare butt cheeks right on the tiles. No lap sitting.
So if COVID had happened, just a few years ago, you would not have been born, Andy.
I know. I know. I wouldn't have been born. It would have been crazy. Darren, what was the unconventional way you were conceived?
Everybody was they were wrapped up in a tapestry. It was a weird situation. It was Okay.
Oh,
so,
there was like a big fancy party, and
Right.
someone stepped into these giant, beautiful curtains that
Right.
like kind of, and
No,
everyone
okay.
started.
No, it was a stair runner. Okay, it was a runner for
Oh.
stairs at a big fancy party. Mom, dad didn't know each other. They got tied up. They fell. Stair runner carpet wrapped around them, and while they were trying to get out of the rug,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it happens. Bodies get close to each other. That's what happens. And
Yeah.
chronologically, we, you know, it's just that's what happens. So that was mine. I mean, it's not as viscerally exciting as Andy's sauna story, but
I have some.
Kind of a Joseph Fiennes, Heather Graham situation in Killing Me Softly.
Yes.
I got some news for you guys.
I'm gonna trust that that's accurate and say yes.
I'll look up a picture.
I'm actually a dad.
Wow.
And I conceived my son in an unconventional way.
Yeah.
Too. It's not something I like to talk about.
Okay.
But I was at this party, and it was pretty wild party, and I came across what I thought was one of those like fake rubber butts that you fuck.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
You
yeah.
know what have you seen those ever? You know, like those like rubber butts that people have sex with?
Is it this kind of situation?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's it. Sure.
So obviously when you run across one of those, you pleasure yourself with it.
Right.
But it was actually an ice luge for shots.
Oh.
And I ejaculated into it, and my semen went down the ice luge, and the rest is history.
One thing that I like about what we're talking about is that all of our parents went into detail in describing the nature of our conception to us.
Yeah.
Which I think is important to do with any kid. And should I ever have children of my own,
It was very important. It was very important for my parents to let me know that I was a sauna baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important that you tell your kid exactly how.
So, Simpsons sequel. So this does. They will from here on out. They'll do this every single year. And
Does Marge always have an introduction?
No.
No, just the first two.
No, that yeah. Sometimes they have episode convention. Like this one is the nightmares thing, right? They go back to that.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just 3 stories.
It's always 3 though.
Yeah, it's always 3, as far as I know.
I think
Are there
that's
any?
correct.
Are there? So there's Frank Grimes, and then there's Grimy 2.
Uh-huh.
That's like a direct sequel of an episode. Are there any like actual canonical episodes that have other canonical episodes that have sequels?
They do thematic sequels. Like, we did like Father Like Clown last week. We will have other Krusty's dad
That's true.
episodes. I don't know if they use a naming
but not
convention.
like to be continued next week though. I mean, do they have? I guess that's not the
So
same.
who shot
one episode.
Burns?
Yeah,
There's only one of those?
There's one example. I think the last episode of season 7 and the first episode of season 8 is a 2-parter.
Yeah.
So that does happen one time.
Did they recently do a 2-parter? For some reason, my brain says they recently did a 2-part episode.
In the
They very well could have.
Like in this newest season, like recently, very recently. I don't know. For some reason, I thought that was a thing.
I have not watched the most recent 15 episodes.
Yeah, I did. Also in this episode, it's funny because they have all the Disney little, here every few episodes we get a little Disney jab or whatever, and it's funny that Disney owns them now.
It is funny. They have.
We can talk about how we're going back to the correct aspect ratio.
Oh yeah, I
this
forgot
week.
about that. Oh, that's
is this
good.
the last one we're gonna watch in the bad aspect ratio?
I think it is.
I believe so.
Well, we got to go back now and start over. We did it wrong. Think of all the jokes we missed.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now that we're 40 in, we should start back again.
I think we got enough
Really?
practice now that we're comfortable doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to go 42 steps forward, 42 steps back with anything you do.
Yeah, and then that's what they say, 84 to more.
Yeah.
That's where that
Especially
quote
when
comes
you're
from.
planning on doing 1,000 episodes or more. Like, you really should take your time and make sure to do it right. Go back to.
I want you guys.
Yo, what if this is our 1,001 nights or whatever, where it's like we have to keep doing these episodes or we die?
Then I would be happy, man. I would be happy about that because I'm sitting here in a tank top and shutter shades with a top knot, live my best life, buddy.
Yeah. That's true. What else do we have to do, to be honest with
Yeah,
you?
right. Well, I got to play a lot of video games. I mean, that's just a fact.
We can go back to recording traditional episodes now.
In theory, we can. In theory, we can.
Now that we are
On
legally
week-
allowed
yeah,
to do small
so-
groups.
Victor brings up the Sideshow Bob's episode as sequels, which definitely. So so far we've only gotten the first one, but there are a handful of fucking stone cold classic Sideshow Bob episodes.
Yeah.
And they are all centered around the same convention that Sideshow Bob gets out of prison, and ventures to harm Bart.
And we did get yeah. I mean, the Krusty was not just an extension of Krusty and his dad. You know, you said you get Krusty, but it starts with the kid who saved you, and they even did a flashback, didn't they? In that episode, most recent last week, they did like a legit flashback.
I would say there's several episode types that return again and
again. You know
again.
what? I don't think we even acknowledged that they did a flashback. That was absolutely the first flashback they ever did last week.
That could be, yeah. That could be.
I didn't
It
even think
appears
about
there's
that.
an episode called Warren Priests Part 2 that is a sequel to Warren Priests Part 1.
What's that episode? I don't know that.
It looks like Flanders is in Michigan. It is. Oh, okay. So there are 3 two-part episodes: Warren Priest Part 1, Warren Priests Part 2, Who Shot Mr. Burns, and then The Great Fatsby. I don't remember Great Fatsby either.
I don't know. Oh, that was one.
Season 28.
Season 28. Jesus.
Oh, Warren Priests were the one that just premiered, written by Pete Holmes. We were just talking about this the other day.
Oh.
So I was
Starring and written by
right.
Pete
There
Holmes.
was one recently.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like
what I thought.
this is like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so I think somebody sent me a message about it or something like, "Are you excited for this event?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm back in season 3."
Yeah, the Warren Priests Part 1 and 2 premiered April 26th and May 3rd.
Jesus. Yeah, The Great Fatsby, the 12th and 13th episode of season 28. It marked the first 2-part episode since Who Shot Mr. Burns. It's a spoof of, oh God. It's a spoof of Great Gatsby and Empire.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh God. That just
what
sounds
AI generation?
We're going to have to watch that, guys, sometime in the next 15 years. We're going to have to watch those
Can
two
you
shitty episodes.
I'm just it's coming to my my brain right now that we are in our 42nd, more than probably we probably have 48 hours of raw audio of us just talking about The Simpsons like this. Raw audio. God, missed opportunity. That is pretty astounding at this point. It doesn't feel like we've done. I mean, I guess it does kind of feel like we've done that.
Hey,
much.
brother, time flies when you're talking to 3 bros you can't get enough of.
Yeah, right.
I feel like we've done sometimes
Amen.
up to 25 consecutive hours of comedy together.
That's true. What you're saying is we're not trying hard enough.
So we should, if we're ever allowed to do live comedy again, we should do Homerphilia during the improv marathon.
Oh, I
in
totally.
the middle of it.
Yeah, I'm totally into that. I'm totally into doing
just at like 4 a.m. have everybody that is there right there be a part of the episode.
We could
Well, friend of the pod and resident Planet Ant person, Jason Pedersen, has been doing 12-hour-long AIPD marathons. He's doing one this Saturday, the 30th.
Oh.
Why is he doing that?
to attract followers.
Oh, okay.
Should
That's
we
great.
ever do a 12-hour Homerphilia marathon?
The answer is clearly
dude,
yes.
The answer is clearly when we do Simpsons Hit and Run, we should absolutely 3 chat box ourselves in the window, game on the side, and we just go for literally as long as we can, is what we should
I
do.
love
I don't want to stoke the rumor mill, but I read this week about a leaked rumor about a potential Hit and Run remaster.
That would be wonderful.
I saw like a Gizmodo article about that shit too. Like the original engineer of it wants it to happen. They just have to like figure out licensing rights and shit. It's like literally my favorite video game of all time. I would fucking.
We just gotta wait until they remaster the Grand Theft Auto game they stole it from.
Right.
To remaster.
Right. Right.
And if they ever remaster Crazy Taxi, then we'll get a remaster of Simpsons Road Rage.
Yes.
It's a
I
good
would love
game.
it if there was like Simpsons Hit and Run 1 was the aerial view of dots like GTA 1. It's just like that would be amazing.
Darren, do we have the technological capability at this point to stream Hit and Run?
On what's the console?
It's on GameCube.
Do you
I own the GameCube game.
you own the game? Do you own a GameCube?
Yes.
Oh, we can literally do that whenever. I just need to make sure I have
We're
my
allowed to hang out in small
I
groups
got it.
now.
What is that? What is that? Is that RCA or is that like red, white, yellow cable?
Red, white, yellow.
Okay, yeah, dude. I got the thing that converts. Yeah, we got it, dude. We got it. We could totally do that.
Look out, boys. We're going to be streaming Hit and Run.
We're gonna
Yeah.
be. We'll announce that soon. We're gonna figure out when we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that soon. So.
Oh, yeah. Check it out, Victor. We're coming at you. Crossing 2 worlds. Video
I
games
guess
and
we might
Simpsons.
have
Hitting
to.
and running.
You guys, we might have to like replace my video game chair with a couch and actually do it in this video game room.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
wow.
It'll be fun. All right,
Gamers rise up.
gamers rise up. That would be great because then we could do a Homerphilia my gaming channel crossover. That would be awesome.
Hell yeah. I love that. So in this idea of Simpsons, we've talked about the types of episodes they come back to. Like every season they do like a Homer and Marge on the brink of divorce episode. Sideshow Bob episode is like a culture, like a trope episode that they come back to. Saving Krusty. Those episodes have spiritual sequels every year or so.
Yeah.
Itchy and Scratchy.
Yeah.
Production episodes. They do one of those fairly often.
And the Simpsons go to this far off distant land. They
Right.
do that. Yeah. So, but yeah. In terms of non-canonical episodes, the Treehouse of Horrors are the heavy hitters, and then they do also like Simpsons tell the Bible stories, or Simpsons tell ancient Greek stories, or Simpsons tell tall tales.
Isn't there like what's the one with steamed hams? Like, is that another one that's like that, or is that canonical?
It's an anthology.
Yeah.
Vignettes episode, rather. Vignettes.
Yeah,
So it's not.
that one is
It
kind
is
of in,
canonical though. Like it's all just little tales from.
yeah, that one is kind of in a like a little offshoot of its own, because they do one-off non-canonical episodes like the Simpsons spin-off special,
Yeah.
which is like it's set up like this one, like 3 chunks, and they show you like Chief Wiggum solving crimes in New Orleans, and then they'll have like the non-canonical clip show ones, like Behind the Music. I love that episode when they do a Behind the Music spoof. So there's those ones. The 22 episodes, the 22 short films about Springfield is kind of its own thing that they've never tried again.
Well, that's
They
cool.
did a good episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender that felt like 22 episodes about Springfield, called The Tales of Ba Sing Se, that were a series of vignettes about a city. Felt very much in the vein of that.
Why are you trying to get back to Avatar?
I just love that show.
You want to talk about Avatar, dude? You want to do Avatar 5 minutes here? We can.
We should wait till a different episode. That'll be bonus content.
Fine.
I like the framing device of this Treehouse of Horror, where the kids come home from trick or treating and they all are so both, not just the kids but Homer as well, are so excited to eat candy, and Marge is like, "You better not eat too much candy; it'll give you nightmares," which is such a parent thing to say on Halloween, and that is a perfect framing device for they're each going to have a different nightmare that night.
Yeah. And we get a little meta in the first one when when Bart asks for fame and fortune.
Yeah.
And it's like the Simpsons go Calypso. And everybody's like over all the branded Simpsons content. That's very fun. That was probably the highlight of the episode for me, that little run.
I love that. I like any time you can get a good framing device in for the Simpsons, because we don't get episodes with vignettes very often, so this is a perfect example of it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked at the beginning of this episode Homer being like the TV being like, the presidential primaries are coming up quickly, and he's like, if you don't like it, move to Russia.
Yes. Victor asks, is this the one where Bart is dressed as Alex from A Clockwork Orange? No, he's a ninja. His Halloween costume is a ninja in this one. I cannot remember specifically which Treehouse of Horror he is Alex from Clockwork Orange, but that definitely happens at one point. There's also I think one of the best parody moments of Clockwork Orange ever in the episode where Lisa is running experiments on Bart. Do you know what I'm talking about, Devin?
Yeah.
So there's a great homage to Clockwork Orange. Lisa is running social experiments on Bart, and they call to that moment in Clockwork Orange when he's like receiving shock therapy to get rid of his horniness, and he's like looking up at the woman's boobs, and he's like getting physically ill. And Lisa's been shocking him every time Bart goes for a cupcake. So it's the same angle, and he's looking up at two cupcakes, and he's getting physically ill, just like Alex.
Now you had a treatment for your horniness, Andrew, that was not shock treatment, but you said was effective for a little while.
So every time that I felt horny, the doctor jade me O.
And that would tide you over for
and then,
maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, so what ended up happening was now I have this Pavlovian response where when I'm horny, I need to finish my business. Because every time I was horny, he jade me to completion. And now every time I feel horny, I need to take care of myself.
But you did not have medical insurance, so you racked up quite a medical debt from that.
I know. And he never really was forthcoming about what his hypothesis was. Like, I just answered a Craigslist ad that was like, "Are you horny? Are you a horny young man?" And I said, "Yeah." And for 3 months, every time I was horny, this guy jade me O. And now if I feel that way, I have to excuse myself and take care of business.
And you will phrase it that way if you are in public.
I gotta go take care of business.
Excuse me, I gotta go take care of myself.
Yeah. So it was almost an opposite of the Clockwork Orange experiment.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
Oh yeah, big time.
So what was your favorite of the 3 segments, Darren or Devin?
I like the Twilight Zone segment. I love the Twilight Zone. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and that's like such a fucking classic episode. The kid who's like can change stuff with his mind and everyone has to appease him. I love that. That just fucking rocks.
Alex Bergman's pipes in and says his favorite toy store is Jade Mio Schwartz.
That is a Bergs, why would you waste that joke on this?
Yeah,
You should
burned
save that
joke.
for something good.
You burned that joke in a comment section on a Homerphilia live stream.
Way to squander a piece of gold.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, that's a good time for us to plug the video that me and Bergs and Jared Samard made. I will drop a link in the Facebook comments.
Yeah.
It is an attack on Governor Whitmer and our beliefs that the stay at home and don't flush your toilet order is unconstitutional and illegal.
Yeah. Can I admit something to you right now?
Yeah.
I'm begging you to.
That I feel really bad about?
Please. Do it.
My wife is not respecting the don't flush your toilet order from our governor, and it's making me feel unsafe.
As you know what, you are going to have the cops at your door any moment.
Every time I do a big duker, she goes in after and flushes it down. I'm like, the governor, Big Gretch, told us not to flush it down.
She is crawling through the sewers.
She literally
looking for
said
people who are not.
She literally said, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, also let it mellow. That's what she said. And I'm scared now. I did like the is this a direct parody of a specific Twilight Zone episode?
Yeah. This is an episode about a 6-year-old boy who can control stuff with his mind. So this small town in Ohio is forced to appease him.
I've never seen that one.
It's good because he's just a temperamental little boy, and this small, I forget the name of the town. It's kind of what it's centered around. They're just stuck like
Springfield.
Yeah, that escapes me.
Yeah,
Good to
me
be
too.
reminded.
Yeah.
But it's satisfying because he just has these childlike impulses, and you have all these adults being forced to indulge them.
Yeah. And we got like a pretty cute little montage of him and Homer bonding while Homer's a big Jack-in-the-Box. That was cute.
They shot guns.
excellent.
They rode a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else did they do in that montage? It's a good little montage. I think I agree with you. I think the middle one was the best one. That's the middle one, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the middle one.
Monkey Paw Twilight Zone surgery. Or robot, whatever the hell.
Right. Yeah. There were
Also, in the Twilight Zone episode, the small boy does turn someone into a Jack-in-the-Box. That's also from the episode.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense then.
Yeah.
At the end of the Twilight Zone episode, he causes snow to fall because he wants snow, and it causes all of the crops to die, and then the whole town faces starvation.
Oh my god.
It's a very bleak episode. It's very good, but it's very bleak.
That's
Cloris
There are-
Leachman from the Mary Tyler Moore Show is in it.
Cloris Leachman. Cloris Leachman. Do you guys know the restaurant Mario's in Midtown?
Yes.
Yes.
They have like a little bus that shuttles people from their restaurant to LCA and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's decked out in big photos on the side of the bus, and it says Mario's where the stars eat. And they have photos of Cloris Leachman and Robin Williams and another dead person. And I think it might be time to update the Mario's bus. Is my point.
Yeah. You guys want to go eat there and see if we can get a picture for Homerphilia on the bus?
Yes.
Let's do it.
So this is not the only Twilight Zone episode that they will parody in these Treehouse of Horror ones. I don't know. I know a lot of Simpsons fans love the Treehouse. We talked about it in our episode with Michelle. You can go listen to it on our podcast feed. I've never been a big fan of them. My favorite thing about The Simpsons is their ability to tell a really tight story while packing it with jokes and cultural references and making you feel like there's been like an emotional growth throughout this silly 22 minutes of TV, and they don't allow themselves that opportunity in these snippet episodes. They've never been my favorite. Even there are undoubtedly better versions of these episodes than this one. But I have a feeling, Darren, that by the end of it, you'll agree with me that these aren't your favorites.
Oh, I already agree. They're already my least favorite 2 episodes, other than the one. Like, I mean,
I think what I enjoyed about these so much growing up was I did not understand the cultural homages at the time, so this was an introduction to the canon of like mystery and horror and like gothic storytelling. So like as a kid, this might have been my introduction to like Edgar Allan Poe stuff, or my introduction to some of these things. So I think I probably watched a lot of horror movies because they were referenced on this show.
Dude, I fucking love Poe's stuff. I love his stuff. His early stuff, really.
Oh yeah.
Before he was a morphine addict, dude, that dude really knew how to write a fucking yarn.
Everyone he loved died of tuberculosis, and then he died of gutter. Or his wife, who was his cousin, died of tuberculosis, and everyone in his family. The early stuff.
Pretty much any time before Johnny Depp chose to make everything about Edgar Allan Poe his aesthetic, like Edgar Allan Poe was pretty good before that. Yeah, the third one is the Frankenstein.
I think my favorite line of the show is in that one, though, the Frankenstein one.
I think I'd probably know which one you're gonna say.
For sure. Is it yours? The labor relations one?
That's that was a highlight for me. I've got a different line I'm gonna use for my favorite one.
We'll save it. We'll save it.
Save it.
I didn't hate any of them. I didn't hate them. I just I agree with you. One of the things I'm really enjoying about watching this is watching the team behind the show learn how to do this, and then hopefully we get to the point where they learned it, they're mastering it, and they just repeat it time after time. It's cool to see that evolution, but it's also cool to see you have the definitive starting point and the definitive ending point every episode, and how can you manage that time well, get the good jokes in, and also find I think that this kind of, I don't hate it, but it doesn't really feel like it needs to exist, I guess.
You want to hear something interesting?
What?
This season, they're in the 31st season, right?
Yes.
Or they just finished the 31st season?
Who knows? Something like that.
The most recent season included a couple weeks after the Treehouse of Horror episode that they traditionally did. They had an episode, a Treehouse of Horror episode of all scary stories revolving around Thanksgiving.
They did a Thanksgiving. Was that what was it? Do you think it was a gimmick, or what do you think?
No. So actually, I have not seen it. I didn't watch it, but it was very well received. It got like a good review on AV Club.
Wait, didn't they? I feel like it was like a. Didn't they do like a Stranger Things episode for Treehouse of Horror? Was that
I think the normal Halloween Treehouse of Horror episode had a Stranger Things thing.
Okay.
Like a month later, they did another episode of 3 spooky stories, and they all revolved around Thanksgiving, and it actually was very well received.
Wait, did they label it Treehouse of Horror? Actually,
it was called. Let me look it up.
That's interesting.
Have we talked about Halloween this year?
Have we talked about it?
This Halloween is going to be on a Saturday. It's going to be a full moon, and it's when the clocks change, so we get an extra hour.
Still gonna be canceled.
Darren, what was it like when you toured in 303?
Can you?
It was
Can you-
great. There was a
can you
lot of
give us-
bass.
What was your role in the band? Was it L, M, F, A, or O?
Come on. You got any more? Jeez. Listen, you guys, it's about just committing to a look, and this is how I feel inside today. Okay, it's the first real day of summer, and I'm going to dress like it. All right. I'm not embarrassed, and my role was the A.
Well,
And it's cool that you're honoring Macho Man Randy Savage's legacy this way. I think that just rocks, man.
Yeah, dude, I think so too. What else you got? That's me. I just don't have my headband on. Jeez.
You
So
could
the
pick
episode
any
is called-
aesthetic in the world to embody, and you picked 2009.
and you picked frat party era Kanye West.
Doom, 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 doom.
I honestly,
Do, do,
frat
do,
party
do.
Kanye West is better than
Do,
MAGA
do.
Kanye West.
There
yeah,
you
we all have
go.
to agree with that.
I do
That
agree
is
with
Darren
that.
right there. Oh yeah. No, that's the Kool-Aid man.
Sorry.
Victor, I am aware that summer is not for another month, but go tell the weather that, buddy.
It's gonna be 90 degrees for the next 3 days.
Yeah, and I'm
89,
gonna
88,
dress
89.
like it.
I have been putzing in my backyard for an entire weekend. It's been great.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend is a famous putts and putter holiday.
I will admit that I've whatever FOMO is called in the era of COVID, this is the quintessential Detroit party weekend, and we're missing out on all of the
Should be a
wonderful.
movement right now.
We should be either at movement or getting ready to go to city clubs dirty party.
We should be getting the goods confiscated at the gate on the way into movement, and then drinking 3 hot tall boys in the sun.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time to me. I did have a little FOMO about that. It's very cool that they're trying out some live streaming stuff. Have you seen what Lightning in a Bottle is doing?
No.
So Lightning in a Bottle is a Memorial Day weekend festival in California that is it's kindred spirits with Electric Forest. So a lot of art installations, big weird stuff out in the woods. They digitally rendered their entire festival grounds, and you can take like a digital tour through the festival grounds and approach each stage that has live streaming stuff happening at it. It's pretty fucking cool. To have them put that together in a couple months is pretty cool. And if you're into dance music and artsy shit, I would recommend you look up Lightning in a Bottle and check some of that shit out this weekend.
I will be attending Lollapalooza 2008 in The Sims 2.
Yeah. So the Thanksgiving episode this season was perhaps lazily called Thanksgiving of Horror.
I love that.
Yeah, and it was well received. We'll watch it in 15 years and review it for you guys. But it I don't know, maybe that means they're gonna look into doing even more of these like 3-story mini episodes.
Memorial Day of Horror, Boxing Day of Horror, Labor Day of Horror, Arbor Day of Horror.
My birthday of horror.
Yours specifically, Andy?
Mine specifically. I pitched that was I had an opportunity to write a spec script for some Simpsons guys, and what I pitched was 3 short stories revolving around my own birthday, and they were all spooky. They weren't into it. They didn't buy it.
Tragic.
What
Stone Cold classic.
if the Simpsons just becomes like late life Gary Marshall of sitcoms?
They just do like Leap Day,
Yeah,
New
every
Year's
episode.
Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day of horror, New Year's of horror.
In many ways, Gary Marshall was destined to do that by having his first big success be Happy Days.
Yeah.
And then all of his movies were just different happy days.
About a happy day. Yeah.
New Year's Day, Thanksgiving Day, Valentine's Day.
It's weird that every single one of those movies ended with one of the characters going like this and saying, "Boy, oh boy, that was one happy day." Oh my god. Do you guys want to do favorite jokes?
Yep.
Yes.
This is the best thing for labor relations since the cat o' nine tails.
The cat o' nine tails. That was very
that's
good.
A Burn. I love Burns lines. I think that he's such a terrible person, and it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Oh yeah.
I liked that exchange. I like the exchange. I like when Smithers is ever like saying something close to Burns. And I like Smithers. Is there nothing I can do? I like those moments too. But yeah, the cat o' nine tails line for sure.
There's Homer brings back a cursed monkey paw from a trip, and Marge is just nervously looking at it on the coffee table, and she just like very earnestly goes, "There's something I don't like about that severed hand," and that line really got me.
I think mine has to be Bart is in Morocco and there is a contortionist and he looks at this dude who has his head like under his legs and goes, "I can do that, but I don't wanna."
Can do that, but I don't want to. The guy is twisted himself up. He's standing on his head and he's walking on his ears at that point. Yeah.
Also, the close second is Burns putting Homer's brain on top of his head and saying, "Look at me, I'm Davy Crocker."
I'm Davy Crockett. Yeah. That was very that was a very grotesque moment in the episode. He reaches into Homer's head, rips out his brain, and you can just see a couple spinal columns like come out with the brain. It was pretty gross.
Yep.
But I think I am hardcore not in the faction of Simpsons fans that find these episodes beloved. There are plenty of Simpsons fans that do. I didn't grow up like into spooky stuff, or I never like loved scary movies. And I don't think I ever really, like you, Devin, appreciated some of the cultural homages they were doing. And these just didn't, this is not what I'm looking for in a Simpsons episode.
Then perhaps you should go back to the sauna you were conceived in.
Yeah.
And lock the door.
Go put my cold little butt cheeks on those hot tiles. No.
My ice cold cheeks on those scalding hot tiles.
Ice cold cheeks on those scalding hot
You
tiles.
famously have the coldest butt cheeks of any person this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, I do.
You got the disease cold cheeks 19.
Cold cheeks 19. I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records having the coldest butt cheeks in the world. You can actually, they're so cold that you can actually cook an egg on them.
Can't argue with that. In many ways, Darren, you only saw 50% of this episode. That's correct, right?
In many ways, you are correct. It's because of the slats. That's why. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. You got a bed frame like those glasses now, don't you?
Hell yeah, I do. Slat.
Yeah.
Yeah. New bed, everybody.
Yeah. He has pieces to put in those empty slats in the glasses.
Yeah,
like, wants
that's
to see a little bit of it.
That's for plane rides.
Yeah.
So I don't need
if
them.
You can put the slats back in those glasses and he falls asleep like a bird.
Yeah.
You just gotta take a couple slats out and he'll wake up. He thinks it's morning.
That's how we put Darren to bed. We both drive to his house. We each take one eye and do the slaps.
we put the slaps back in his glasses. He falls asleep immediately.
We wake him up in his gamer chair by taking him out.
Yeah.
Time to stream.
Time to stream, baby! You might catch me on Darren's game stream soon playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm going to download it.
Dude, I just thought about it. I look like I play Fortnite right now. Oh, no.
Yeah, dude, you're a high school junior.
You're right. You are right. Are you changing your favorite episode, Devin?
Nah.
Because you know that we're not.
No way.
So our favorite episodes are the one that I picked and the one that you guys picked. I still don't remember which one mine is right now.
Mine, I believe, is Homer defined right now.
Yep.
Mine is Lisa Substitute, baby.
Mine is unknown, so I will just hold out until my next favorite.
I'm realizing right now that I have outpaced you two ferociously in changing my favorite episode. Like I think I've changed it like 4 or 5 times more than either of you have, and I think it's just because I love the show so much. Like, each of these episodes like have these little
you gotta
like nostalgia pops for me. I
think it's a matter of object permanence. If it's not in front of you, you forget about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I do have a goldfish memory.
No, this one's my favorite. No, this one's my favorite.
No, this one's obviously my favorite. I just finished watching it. But we
It's
do
like you
have
ask a kid their favorite movie, and it's whatever movie they saw today.
whatever movie's on right now. We have some good ones coming up, right? We've got Lisa's Pony coming up. I
love that.
suspect that none of us will change our episode for that one, but it's a good one. Saturdays of Thunder, when Homer and Bart make a go-kart together. Fucking Flaming Moe's coming up.
God, I love Flaming Moe. That could change for me.
I Married Marge is a great one. Lisa the Greek, where she helps him bet on NFL games. There's a lot of fucking Homer at the Bat is coming up in like 10 episodes. Homer at the Bat, Darren.
Yes.
Is an episode of The Simpsons that is inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
What a wild fucking episode that is.
It's that good. It is you can go visit a memorial to that episode in Cooperstown, New York at the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. So we got a bunch of good episodes coming up.
Good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Some stone cold freaking classics coming up.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh boy, when we do the Burns for Coffin or Kraftwerk episode, that comes out the day after I was born.
That's coming up. I can't remember what that one is. What episode that? Oh, that's when he sells the plant to the Germans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that's the closest we're gonna come to seeing Kraftwerk this summer.
So, I was curious about that show. The three of us, several months ago, when the world was a more innocent and safe place, had planned to go see Kraftwerk, the seminal German Beeps and Boops band. Their show is the only one on the Masonic Temple website through September that is not canceled or postponed.
Well, as we know, this disease will not affect any 80-year-old German men.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Including one of their members that has already died from this.
Boy.
Not a former member. He retired.
Former member, because he died. No.
But he's a former member because he died of coronavirus.
We can't fucking dunk it on dead crafts.
But I don't know why that is. It's clearly not happening. They're not going to have that show, but they haven't postponed or canceled it. And those tickets are $100.
Have you guys seen the suit that is being developed for concerts?
No.
I got a picture right here, baby. They're talking about an experimental suit for festival going that you can wear. It's being developed.
Just what I want to do. A lot of hallucinogens and party drugs while surrounded by people who look like they're
It
freaking
includes
robots.
an N95 filter and snapping canisters for drinking and vaping.
You
It's
can
being
drink.
developed by a California design firm right now.
That's bad.
I mean, look at this thing. I would absolutely rave in that. Are you kidding?
No way.
That I know, but like every
No
little
way,
thing that
dude.
comes out like that is the bleakest thing I've ever. Every time I see a kid in a face mask or some shit that's like you have to wear this spacesuit to go to a party, it's just I can't get over how fucking bleak that is.
Listen, I've seen Jake Gyllenhaal's Bubble Boy over 500 times. And this is what I'm prepared for.
Yes, and like my that movie was, you might not be surprised to find out, a heavy rotation in my DVD collection in high school. But
The same part of us that is writing Stuck on 2 is going to write a Bubble Boy sequel.
yes, Bubble Boy 2. But yeah, that's Homerphilia for this week, I think.
Yeah, you got sponsors?
I think so. Do you guys want to thank any sponsors?
Summer 2009. YOLO, your love lockdown at the Party Rock. There
Yeah,
you go.
I would like to thank a handful of musicians who have sponsored us this week. The L, the M, the F, and the O have sponsored us, but not the A. Interestingly enough.
I want to thank Podsuit, the California design firm that is developing a special COVID suit just for podcasting. You wear it, and it will allow you to laugh at your friends' jokes really loud through it, but it will not allow you to get the disease.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
I was gonna say the podcasters podcaster safety from COVID is just being a podcaster because nobody wants to hang out with you anyway.
Absolutely.
Awesome,
Absolutely.
guys.
It is a lonely chosen path.
Yeah.
We're having a good time doing it. Thank you for joining us, folks. We'll be back here next week talking about what I assume will be a much better episode of The Simpsons than what we saw today.
Yeah.
Shut
We'll be back next Sunday at 7 o'clock.
PM or AM?
AM and PM. Both. Two shows. No, just
For both coasts.
check both times. We'll figure it out. 7 p.m. Sundays, everybody, for the foreseeable future until we can do it live. But we're out here.